నమస్కారం. డాక్టర్ బిఆర్ అంబేద్కర్ సార్వత్రిక విశ్వవిద్యాలయం విద్యార్థులకు స్వాగతం. ఈ ప్రసారంలో
Today we are going to learn about early child development programs, and there are some institutions which are carrying out these development programs. They are Anganwadis and Balwadis. First of all, we shall learn as to why we need these early child development programs. Friends, you know that our country is a very vast country with huge population. We have families living in poverty, under undernourished conditions, and stuck with poverty. Children are dying from malnutrition and they are dying of diseases. It is very tragic to note that even today worldwide some 18,000 children are dying every day because of lack of nutrition, and 22% of these children are from our own country, and many children are dying within 24 hours of their birth. It is so tragic that many of the children are dying of lack of food, and many are becoming victims of dreadful diseases like pneumonia, malaria, diphtheria, etc. So we have to save our children, protect them from hunger, protect them from malnutrition, and contribute to the wholesome growth and development of the children. So friends, you know, country's prosperity depends upon its well-being of its citizens. Healthy children contribute to healthy human development, and when there is healthy human development, the countries become highly economically developed. So healthy development for every child world over should be our target. Hence, educationists, economists, and leaders around the world have thought of early child development programs, and ICDS, that is Integrated Child Development Services Program, is one such program launched by the Government of India in the year 1975 for the survival of the children, for the well-being of the children, and for the wholesome growth of the children. So children have to be saved from malnutrition, mortality, morbidity, and they have to be equipped with good education to make them productive adults in the long run. So any investment made in this direction will definitely make the nations great. Now Anganwadis are started as part of this ICDS services program in the year 1975, and these Anganwadi centers discharge all the services intended by the ICDS project. Let's look into the management of the Anganwadis. Each Anganwadi is managed by an Anganwadi worker. Anganwadi worker is the in charge of the Anganwadis, and for every population of 1000 there is an Anganwadi. Anganwadi worker is a health worker, and she rises from the same community, and she receives a training for regarding health education, nutrition, and women education, and preschool component for 4 months. Some 20 to 25 Anganwadis have one supervisor who is also called the Mukhya Sevika, and 4 to 5 Mukhya Sevikas are headed by a CDPO or a project officer. While okay, this is the structure of the Anganwadis. Now let us see the services offered by these Anganwadi workers and Anganwadis. The first and foremost is the health education, because we know healthy mothers only can give birth to healthy children. So health education, that is empowering women, educating women about good rearing practices, child care, proper food intake are very important. So Anganwadi worker caters to the needs of the pregnant women and nursing mothers and educates them about lactation, food, proper nutrition, and also about the child rearing practices and other hygienic practices. That is how women are educated. Nursing mothers and pregnant mothers are given nutritious food like milk, eggs and protein supplements and iron supplements, and such healthy women can obviously give birth to healthy children. So the main problem of the survival of the child, because earlier I said that almost some infants are dying within 24 hours of their birth only. And another important thing is these infants are dying because of lack of proper delivery services. So an Anganwadi worker has to see that all women deliver only in the government hospitals and no woman should deliver at home. So these are the precautions that the Anganwadi worker has to take regarding health education. Now, okay, we are ensuring the healthy birth of a child, and next important thing is survival and proper growth of the child. So the child is to be protected against diseases. For this, timely immunization is very important. So there are some compulsory vaccines to be given at regular intervals. IAP, that is Indian Academy of Pediatrics, has designed a universal immunization program or national immunization program and recommended some compulsory vaccines to fight against diseases like TB, polio, diphtheria, whooping cough, etc. And the surveys show us that many of the children are dying because of pneumonia, malaria, diarrhea. So vaccines like BCG, DPT and OPV, that is oral polio vaccine, etc., protect the children from falling victims of these fatal diseases. So Anganwadi worker has to go from home to home and carefully see and monitor that all children are given these compulsory vaccines at specific intervals of time as recommended by the Indian Academy of Pediatrics. This is very important, and so we have ensured a safe birth of the child, and also this immunization program is taken up and these injections are given from time to time, and that thus contributing to the proper growth of the child. And the next important thing is to safeguard them from lack of nutrition. In our state itself, some 46% of the children below the age of 5 years are dying because of lack of nutrition. So nutrition is very important. Protein energy depletion or protein energy malnutrition is a major killer. So a simple thing like giving a glass of milk every day can save the lives of so many people. Hence, the Anganwadi worker has to provide milk and eggs to the children below the age of 6 years and contribute to the proper growth, healthy growth of the children so that they do not lack nutrition. Anemic malnutrition is another major problem, because this is also the statistics say that 70% of the children in our state below the age of 5 years are also suffering from this anemic malnutrition. So as a part of catering to providing nutritious food, Anganwadis are serving eggs almost an alternate day, every child and every nursing mother and pregnant women get eggs and milk and some protein powder also they are giving, because as I said earlier, protein energy malnutrition is very serious. It's a very serious problem, and it may lead to the failure of vital organs like kidneys, liver, etc., and it may also result in the loss of the children. So, it is very important. They have recognized it, and some protein powder is also being served. This is about the malnutrition. And the next thing is regular health checkups. Some simple tests are there, they are suggested, and the Anganwadi worker is also trained in doing these tests. So, every month the Anganwadi worker has to do these simple tests for the children. So, they maintain a chart like the growth chart for every child, wherein the height, weight and the head circumference and the mid-arm circumference of the children are recorded in those charts. So, these are very simple measurements, but they are very, very important because they are indicative of major deficiencies. Thanks to science and technology, very simple tests like bangle tests are also devised these days, which can easily be administered even by uneducated, illiterate people also. But these readings like the head circumference, mid-arm circumference and the proper height or length of the baby and the weight of the baby are very, very important, and the Anganwadi worker has to carefully observe these readings, compare them with the standards, and in case there are any deviations from the normal readings, immediately such children should be referred to expert opinion or sent to government hospital. They have to be referred to the pediatrics. Now till 2008 there were some Indian standards, but from 2008 onwards we are following some standards which are called new standards, new human standards or new child standards prescribed by the World Health Organization of UNO. And now the focus is on girl child. Girl children are taken care till their adolescent age, that is 15 to 18 years also. Of course, the program's ideals and the objectives are very laudable, and the infant mortality rate has reduced considerably, and children are becoming active. The deaths due to malnutrition have decreased, and the services of the Anganwadi worker and the Anganwadis are quite appreciable and laudable. But there are of course some shortcomings and complaints also against these Anganwadis. While some of them are functioning excellently well, some of the centers are not functioning at all. Of course, it depends on the attitude and the commitment and sincerity of the Anganwadi worker. The other very important service and a commendable and most important service which the Anganwadis are intended to carry out is non-formal preschool education. For this non-formal preschool education, beautiful ECE curriculum is there, and kids with very interesting colorful learning materials are being supplied to the Anganwadis. In some of the Anganwadis, we see they are very perfectly put into use. Children are wonderfully engaged in different types of activities, but in some places all these materials are kept in a box and locked and not utilized at all. Friends, you know the importance of early childhood. Language development, cognitive development and intellectual development takes place enormously. It is simply a case of use or lose. If you just can't use the childhood, we have to permanently lose it. It's irrecoverable. So, we have to really equip the children with lots of activities, provide them with very interesting experiences which contribute to the cognitive growth, language development, motor development, moral and emotional development of the children. Children should be encouraged to express themselves freely, contributing to their language development. They should have lots of opportunities for free play and expression. The motor skills of the children, the gross and fine motor skills of the children are to be developed. Good, healthy habits have to be inculcated among the children. Sound value system has to be developed in the children. We know from different studies that children who are nourished and nurtured and fostered and grown in very healthy, emotionally supportive, stimulating environments will grow up as very productive individuals and intellectuals, and such children can contribute to the growth, economic growth and prosperity of the nations. So it is very important that this preschool component of the Anganwadis has to be strengthened very well. Unfortunately, this Anganwadi worker is the chief focal point. She is answerable to so many departments. She is answerable to all the public. She has to maintain so many records and prepare reports of regarding immunization, checkups and all that. And it is really maybe unfair or unjustifiable to expect the Anganwadi worker herself to take care of the preschool education also, because in normal or private schools we see there are specially trained early childhood education teachers who are devoting quality time almost for 4 to 5 hours a day for the small children to take care of the educational component of the children. So it is really necessary to have a trained preschool teacher in each Anganwadi, so that the preschool component of the early childhood education will be strengthened and children will blossom into whole developed children. People who will be dependent on such welfare schemes and subsidies will be decreasing as we now invest, or if we now invest more in the education of the children. The very fact that the integrated child development program is catering to a population of more than 10 crores in our country itself states that most of our population unfortunately is dependent on these welfare schemes. This Anganwadi or the ICDS is mainly a social welfare scheme. So let us have more investments towards the preschool component of education, so that we will have more healthily developed children, greater human development and greater economic development. And Balwadis are started under the scheme of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan or DPEP in the areas where there are no Anganwadis, in order to avoid the duplication of Anganwadis. So the objectives of Anganwadis and the functions of the objectives, functions and services offered by Anganwadis and Balwadis are the same. Whatever the duties are performed by Anganwadis, the same are to be performed by Balwadis also. So Balwadis are specially established or started in the areas or in some areas where they are not covered by ICDS under ICDS program. They are concentrating more on the preschool component or the preschool education component of the children. That's really wonderful, but only here food is not being served in some Balwadis started by voluntary organizations. Advantage of these things is, these Balwadis is, you know, if the children are not taken care, or if the small children do not go to Anganwadis or Balwadis, the elder sister has to remain at home taking care of the smaller child. That is how school dropout rate is increasing, especially girls dropout rate is increasing, and the girls and losing their opportunities to continue their education. So this is also a commendable job that these voluntary organizations are doing by starting Balwadis in some areas. And the other important thing is, Anganwadi centers are running only from 10 to 12:30 or 1 o'clock, and these Balwadis are almost running for the whole day, say from 10 o'clock to 3:30. This will be very, very convenient because the parents who, especially the women who go as daily workers or daily wage workers, or who work as laborers in the fields, they feel safe about their children because the Balwadis will take care of them and they look after them, their children safely from morning till evening. The mothers cannot rest themselves because they are worried about the safety of their children and they wonder where to leave the children after 1 o'clock. So if these Anganwadis also can extend their time till 5 o'clock at least, the women can peacefully work in the fields, or they also can become earning members and contribute to income of the families. Here you see the teachers are doing wonderful work. They are engaging the children in beautiful activities and contributing to the overall growth of the children. But here food is not served. So when food is not served, education is being impaired. And when education is taken care of, children may suffer from malnutrition. So we have to have some convergence wherein the children will be provided with nutritious food and also good education. So that is how really, if this preschool component is also taken care of, this Anganwadi program or the integrated child development program, which is the world's largest integrated intersectoral program of Government of India, will become an excellent program, and we can definitely save the children from hunger, malnutrition, and contribute to the wholesome growth and development of the children.
आजामू बोलो को गिनती सिखाएंगे, बोलो बोलो एक, बोलो बोलो एक, तुम्हें मिला केक, तोड़ा तुम भी कहोगे, तोड़ा हम भी खाएंगे, अम्मा कोटिना, तोड़ा कलावा, पन्नू तेजावा, दूध पतावा, दूध की मिंगावा, roly poly, bread, 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 roly poly, bath, bath, bath. The doctor says no more monkeys jumping on the bed. Three monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell down and bumped its head.
ఈ కార్యక్రమాలపై మీ అభిప్రాయాల్ని, సూచనల్ని, సలహాల్ని ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాం. మా చిరునామా ద డైరెక్టర్, ఆడియో విజువల్ ప్రొడక్షన్ అండ్ రీసెర్చ్ సెంటర్, డాక్టర్ బిఆర్ అంబేద్కర్ ఓపెన్ యూనివర్సిటీ, ప్రొఫెసర్ జి రామిరెడ్డి మార్క్, రోడ్ నంబర్ 46, జూబ్లీ హిల్స్, హైదరాబాద్ 500033.